This is my week 7 assignment for EDU 503. I chose the case Franklin versus Gwinnett County Public Schools. This happened in 1992. So, for this case, an overview. Christine Franklin was a student who was subjected to continual sexual harassment by a coach and a teacher, Mr. Andrew Hill. The complaint alleges that the school was aware of the accusations but took no action in regards to the sexual harassment complaints. Mr. Hill resigned in 1998 on a condition that all matters pending would be closed and there would be no investigation. Franklin filed a complaint against the school for damages for under Title IX for failing to take action against Hill. The court dismissed the complaint on the grounds that Title IX does not authorize an award for damage. So, in most cases for Title IX, in violation of Title IX, a lot of cases did not get monetary awards for damages. That's why this case was dismissed. So the plaintiff was Franklin, who was a sophomore at the time in high school. She claims that Hill made sexual advances towards her, had inappropriate conversations with her, and called her out of class sometimes to have sexual intercourse with her on school grounds. So she came forward to the school to conduct an investigation, but the school took no action to reprimand Hill. She claims that the school district violated Title IX with its refusal to seek action against Hill after the sexual assault allegations, and she was seeking monetary damages in violation of Title IX. The defense, which was the school district, when Mr. Hill resigned, all matters pending were dropped in the allegations, so they couldn't really charge him. That was his condition, that if he were to resign, that there would be no continual investigations. The school, Gwinnett County Public Schools, actually did little for the investigation into Hill after he resigned, even before that, so they didn't really look too much into him. They just knew that there was a complaint, but they didn't really take that complaint and investigate a whole lot. So the big case for the defense was that all Title IX cases, they don't award monetary awards. So this court case was really different in the textbook. It was talking about a whole bunch of other court cases and how it related to Title IX or Rehabilitation Act. So the district court dismissed the case and sided with the defendant that Title IX cases do not award monetary awards. So district court, they dismissed the case. It went to the appeals court, and they affirmed this in the district court ruling that it's dismissed. Title IX does not award money for damages. This case went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court actually reversed the decision in favor of Franklin. So one thing that the textbook says, general rule, therefore, is that absent clear direction to the contrary by Congress, the federal courts have the power to award any appropriate relief in a cognizable cause of action brought pursuant to a federal statute. So because Title IX is a federal law, all schools who receive federal money have to abide by Title IX. The Supreme Court, the federal courts, they have the power to address any of these cases that are federal laws, and they can award any damages that they think is appropriate. So they felt that it was appropriate to give monetary damages for violating Title IX. The Supreme Court based their decision a lot off of Cannon versus the University of Chicago, which was a case where Cannon was awarded monetary damages. It was this case, Franklin versus the school district, was resolved in an out-of-court settlement in which the terms were not disclosed. So we don't actually know how much she received or anything to that nature. So some of these implications for an athletic director. So before this case, Title IX had been interpreted to only provide the remedy of injunctions, mandating that schools take corrective actions regarding discrimination. Basically, Title IX cases, if schools were in violation of Title IX, basically they just had to fix whatever they were in violation of, whether that be the participation, taking care of any sexual assault allegations or anything like that. They were in charge of making sure that they were compliant with the Title IX allegations and Title IX rules. So schools didn't really have to do much. They just had to make sure that they were following Title IX, providing equal opportunities and not discriminating versus gender or sex or anything like that. So now, because of this case, victims of Title IX violations can seek monetary damages. So this is an increase of the pressure on schools and also athletic programs to ensure that there's compliance in all aspects of Title IX. So in sports, I mean, you have to make sure that you're, as an athletic director, making sure that you're providing equal opportunities for all sports, all genders, and having equal access to gym space and uniforms and all that stuff. So if you're not following Title IX and um, respecting what Title IX has and making sure that everyone has equal opportunities, now victims in violation of Title IX can seek monetary damages from the school because you're not keeping up with Title IX. Another implication for an athletic director that I was kind of thinking of is the hiring process. So as an AD, you're kind of in charge of making sure that you're hiring coaches. You don't really get a say in hiring teachers, but with hiring coaches, you want to make sure that you're finding candidates of good character. It's kind of hard in the interview process and the hiring process to understand a person's true nature because they're putting on their best face for an interview. So, because everyone wants the job, they're going to sell you what they're good at. They're not necessarily going to tell you the bad stuff about them, whether or not, for example, in this case, that the teacher and coach was kind of a predator for high school athletes or high school teenagers. So, being careful in the hiring process and trying to be a good judge of character. You can try and ask some questions, but you have to be careful about that because some questions in the interview process um, might be discriminatory or illegal to ask in an interview, depending on. So just making sure that athletic directors are a good judge of character when they are hiring new coaches to make sure that instances of sexual assaults don't happen to your athletes by your coaches. And then another thing that I don't have on here is just understanding that if there is an allegation that you need to take action, you need to set that coach aside and you need to conduct an investigation on that coach. You can't just sit by and be in violation of Title IX. You need to make sure that you're taking action against that coach, conducting a thorough investigation with the school district to make sure that you are not going to violate Title IX. So those would be the implications. And then here's the reference from the textbook. Thank you.